Buongiorno. In this video, we will have a very brief look at the status of the ERP market or enterprise information systems market, the big players and available options for companies, just to give you an idea about how the market looks like. Okay, let's first look at the general market share for well-known enterprise systems. When we look at the market share, we not only see big players such as SAP, Oracle, or Microsoft Dynamics, but also notice a significant percentage of companies that use systems from many other vendors. These are not major vendors perhaps, but provide specialized systems for niche markets. The SAP has been the market leader for almost since the beginning of the ERP era, I should say. And over the last few years, the vendors like Microsoft, perhaps more than 10 years now, but vendors like Microsoft has also gained considerable popularity and commonality in business. Now let's look at the popular Magic Quadrant chart produced by Gartner for a large set of products, services, or vendors, typically in the technology domain or IT domain. So there's no single quadrant analysis for the entire ERP market, and the one depicted in this slide is for ERPs that focus on product-centric companies. But let's first introduce the structure of this chart, as it is very well known in business and you will see these things, these charts in many other, depicting many other domains, products, or vendors as well. So let's introduce the structure first. In all Gartner Magic Quadrants, the products or vendors or services are rated upon two criteria: completeness of vision and ability to execute. Now, completeness of vision on the horizontal axis and ability to execute on the vertical one. And accordingly, four quadrants appear. Now, the leaders, the challengers, the visionaries, and niche players. Each product or service or a vendor, etc., is positioned in one of these quadrants. Okay, now those in the leaders quadrant have the market share and credibility. They show a clear understanding of customer and market needs and possess the ability to fulfill these needs. That is, they are able to execute the vision that they see for this particular market. They are innovators. Challengers are typically followers of the leaders. These products, again, or services or vendors, have strong capabilities and considerable market share, but they lack the size and influence that the leaders have. Next step for these challenges is to have a better understanding of the customer and market needs, and also starting innovation. The products in the visionaries quadrant are innovative and address important user problems, usually at a broad scale, but they have not yet demonstrated the ability to capture the market share. And finally, the niche players are often narrowly focused on a specific market or a vertical segment. They may also include products for large vendors which are new or repositioned in the market, or those that have difficulty developing and executing their vision. Okay, now back to this particular quadrant. As you can see in this one, which dates back to 2014, two, let's say, conventional ERP systems are positioned in the leaders quadrant: SAP and IFS applications. These are quite well known, and one of the most common, as I have just in fact shown in the previous chart. Oracle, which is also a very important player, is positioned in the challenges quadrant, And the other product that is worth mentioning perhaps is Microsoft Dynamics again, which is listed in the visionaries. Now, this Magic Quadrant depicted in this slide is a more recent. It depicts the status in the last year. And different than the one we saw in the previous slide, this is specific to the ERP systems offered on the cloud. That is it. I mean, this slide reflects the market status of Nive Enterprise Information Systems provisioning or deployment approach, cloud, or SAS, sometimes also called. Very subtle difference between these two. We'll discuss about that, but SAS, software as a service. We will say more about the enterprise system provisioning or deployment types approaches in a separate video when we discuss about the enterprise system architecture. So according to this chart, Oracle ERP Cloud is positioned as the only leader. And Oracle is quite old, is quite an old technology company originally, and particularly well known for their strong database solutions. On the other hand, other well-known systems such as Microsoft Dynamics or Infor are positioned in the visionaries quadrant for the ERP systems that are provisioned, that are deployed on cloud. And I must say, the positioning of the SAP Business by Design is rather surprising to me, but we'll see about that later on in later years. Okay, now that is the current market in this particular business domain in a nutshell. See you in another video. Arrivederci.